Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw superstars and some brief WWE news. It's been going on for the last week and a half. Okay, former WWE Women's Champion Madusa, aka Deborah Micelli, teased a potential appearance on the 20th anniversary of Raw for next week. And she's quoted by saying, Houston, this Saturday for Monster Jam and WWE Monday Night Raw, she wrote. Follow her online on twitter.com/Medusa_rocks. I assume we will be seeing plenty of names from the past appearing on the 20th anniversary show next week. Medusa works with the Monster Jam Monster Trucks outfit, as she's a driver. Former WWE wrestler Sean X-Pac Waltman was backstage at Raw last night in Tampa, Florida. So they could have did a whole DX regime, but since Waltman lives in the area, he'll be doing some work for the company during Royal Rumble weekend as part of the DX panel, as I was just saying. Former WWE champion Dave Batista is listed as a top contender for the role of Drax, the Destroyer, in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. According to comicbookmovie.com, the other contenders listed are Isaiah Mustafa, the Old Spice guy, and Brian Patrick Wade, who had a role in The Guardian. Thanks to the .NET member Chris GST for passing along that story. The late Chris Canyon, who's better than Canyon, a.k.a. Chris Kluxaritis. Let me correct that. Kluxaris was born on April 2nd. Let's see. He was born on a couple of days ago, back in 1970. He took his own life following a long bout with a bipolar disorder and depression on April 2nd, 2010. Former WWE wrestler Jim Powers, formerly of Powers and Pain, turned 55. He was born on January 4th, 1958. WWE is also advertising John Cena and Sheamus versus Big Show and Dolph Ziggler for last night's Raw Super Show, probably as your dark match main event, since it's on the Arena website. The late Gary Albright died on yesterday in 2000 at the age of 36. He was in the ring while working a World Extreme Wrestling show in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Chavo Guerrero Sr., a.k.a. Salvador Guerrero, is 64 yesterday. He was born January 7th, 1949. C.W. Anderson, a.k.a. Chris Wright, turned 42 yesterday. He was born January 7th, 1971. He continues to work for the Extreme Rising promotion. TNA wrestler Mr. Anderson, a.k.a. Ken Anderson, turned 37 on Sunday, March 6, 1976. Former TNA and WWE wrestler Jacqueline Moore turned 49 on Sunday. She was born January 6, 1964. And the late Tony Halm, a.k.a. Ludwig Borga, was born on January 6, 1963. He died January 8, 2010, of a self-inflicted gunshot. I was wondering what happened to him for many years. And thus, another guy. But not drug foreseen, I should say. Frank Kennelly was at the Raw show in Tampa and passed along these updates on the pre-show matches prior to Raw. The Miz defeated Tensai. The Miz received a huge reaction, and Tensai was booed loudly. The Miz started off fast. Tensai got the edge, and it spilled to the outside. Back inside the ring, Tensai continued with some big hits. Tensai got a near fall after catching Miz off the top rope with a hit to the jaw. It was back and forth for several minutes in a fast-paced match. There was a very close fall by Miz after a double axe handle. Then he hit his finisher and won the match. There were Albert chants and Miz's awesome chants all through the match. Not bad. Plus, the crowd was pretty hot during the match. And match number 2, Brodus Clay and Zack Ryder defeated the Primetime Players. These matches are predicted to be Superstars matches. Okay. Ryder and Clay were over big. Darren Young and ran when Clay was tagged in, which got a lot of laughs. Ryder tagged in Titus O'Neil pretty much owed him, aside from the Broski kick, that Ryder managed to land. Clay performed a splash for the win. A fast 5-minute match was a lot of fun. Kids danced in the ring afterwards with Brodus Clay. And your Gilligan's Island Rock Raw on the 3-hour Raw. Rock's promo ending was just mediocre, as you will soon hear. As the show opened with tonight on WWE Raw, rather than a flashback to the, crappy ending from last week, they played up to The Rock's return and the CM Punk medical status question and his TLC match with CM Punk. Coleslaw wished viewers a very happy new year and welcomed them to the first WWE Raw 2013. Cole was then joined on commentary by Jerry the King Lawler. John Cena's music played, footage aired of the shitty ending from last week of Raw 2012, with Cena having fake crap dumped on Dolph Ziggler and AJ. Cena called it a glorious craptastic end to 2012. And then Cena spoke about TLC match involving Punk and Ryback and hyped up the crowd for the return of The Rock. He said that means we are on the road to WrestleMania. He said in 3 weeks we will have the Royal Rumble. Cena recalled saying he is entering the Royal Rumble. This was like an early preview of when an old and washed up John Cena becomes the general manager and hype master. Dolph Ziggler's music interrupted Cena. Ziggler and AJ and Big E Langston walked onto the stage very slowly. Ziggler had a black eye, or fake pink eye from fake crap. Ziggler said people came to see him. AJ whined about Cena breaking her heart. AJ said Cena is a petty, pretty small man. Cena and AJ just made their first 6th grade wiener joke. He had the crowd perform a wave for the wiener joke. Cena said, one good wiener joke deserves another. He started to quote Andrew Dice Clay. Ziggler cut him off and said that whenever someone beats Cena, he just tries to laugh it off. How true. Ziggler announced that he will be in the Royal Rumble match himself. He said he and 28 other wrestlers will have the primary objective of making sure Ziggler doesn't win. Cena told him to look out and acted like crap was about to fall and hit him again. They fell for it. Eventually, Cena challenged Ziggler to face him on the spot. Big E Langston picked up the microphone. He questioned whether Cena thinks Ziggler is his only problem. Well, I have your answer for you, and it's on. Well, this came after several no's from Ziggler and no's from AJ. And Langston finally said, huh? Actually, Ziggler says, huh? Langston and Ziggler spoke on the stage for a moment as a Cena chant broke out. The heel trio headed to the ring as the announcers assumed Cena versus Ziggler would be coming up after a break. Heck, the way they played this, it looked like it was going to be Big E Langston versus Cena. Well, that's the way they played it. Commercial break. This was not a hot start to start the show. I don't even like college football, and I was tempted to check the score, even though I knew that there is no game starting. Langston's mic work was anything but memorable. They had him talk just to say that. So your first match of the night, John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler with AJ and Big E Langston in the corner. Coleslaw said the match was made official during the break by Vicky Guerrero. At 4 minutes 45 seconds in the match, Ziggler distracted the referee by acting like something was in his eye. Langston climbed onto the ring apron and punched Cena. Ziggler covered Cena, but only got a 2 count, heading into another commercial break. Ziggler remained in control after the break. Coleslaw said that Dolph was doing what he does best by showing off. Cena came back with a couple of power moves. AJ climbed onto the ring apron and looked at Cena, who was momentarily distracted. Ziggler drop kicked Cena for a 2 count and then tagged him with a series of elbow drops. AJ slapped Cena while Ziggler distracted the referee. This time the referee sent Langston and Lee to the back. Great job by the referee. Cena came back and Ziggler cut him off again. Ziggler went for repeated covers, but Cena continued to kick out back and forth. And here we go. Coleslaw said even though the story was Ziggler dominating Cena, yet not being able to put him away, Cena did roll through his power spot. He went for the attitude adjustment, but Ziggler avoided it and super kicked him for a 2 count. The announcers noted that AJ Lee and Langston had been thrown out by officials and were no longer at ringside. Ziggler applied a sleeper hold. Cena fought out of the sleeper hold, but Ziggler collided with the referee and knocked him to the floor. Referee bump outside in the process. Cena applied the STF momentarily. Big E Langston ran out and broke it up. Langston dropped Cena with his finishing move and then ran away. Finally, another referee comes out and made the count, but Cena kicked out. Cena came back with attitude adjustment for his win. And the match took 17 minutes, 15 seconds out of our lives. Why would the second official not disqualify Ziggler if he was aware that Langston gotten involved, especially after he had been sent backstage by the first referee? Anyway, it was a very good match with countless believable near falls. Well, unless you know Cena is Superman, then you probably didn't buy into them. Still, go work for both men. Eve made her entrance. She had the big fake smile and waved at the fans. She broke from the smile at one point and made her disgusted face. Funny, Eve versus Caitlyn was up next. Commercial break. Finally, back from the commercial, and it is for the Divas Championship. Excuse me. Coleslaw said hashtag Rock on Raw was trending. It wasn't when I looked. I did look myself. Thank you very much. But Brent Musburger was. He pointed out that Caitlyn's boot laces were undone. The referee told Caitlyn to tie her boot. When she tried, Eve kicked her in the head. It's not my fault, Eve said, after being scolded by the referee. Caitlyn came back with a series of moves. Eve tried to escape, but Caitlyn caught her and threw her back inside the ring. Eve ran out the other side of the ring and grabbed her title belt. Eve ran through the crowd with her title belt. The referee counted her out. This match was only lasted 4 minutes 40 seconds. Well, I think I dozed off during the match. I woke up and the commercial was on. Eve too complained to Vicky Guerrero that she's blinded by Caitlyn's two-toned head. There were some boos for Eve running off, but the crowd was anything but hot for the match. After all, it is a Divas match. Everybody knows the Divas can't wrestle. An ad aired for the 20th anniversary of WWE Raw, featuring footage from the first Raw and hyped next week as the anniversary show. Backstage segment, Santino Marella told Ricky Steamboat that his favorite match is Steamboat versus Randy Savage. Steamboat said that that was a highlight of his career. Wade Barrett showed up and said the Intercontinental title means something again now that he holds it. He said Steamboat is no longer a fire-breathing dragon. He's just an old man blowing smoke. Steamboat said he wants to be in Santino's corner for his match. We'll find out how much smoke this old man can blow, Steamboat said. Another backstage segment, Matt Striker interviewed Randy Orton about the Royal Rumble and the other wrestlers who have announced their entries. 3MB showed up and announced that they've entered the Royal Rumble match themselves. Orton asked which one of them would face him. They told him to pick his poison. Orton said Heath Slater won't be playing the air guitar after their match. He'll be playing the harp. Really, Orton didn't reject the pathetic line. How the mighty have fallen. Announcers hype Saturday's on-sale event for the general public for the WWE Hall of Fame event. Kane and Daniel Bryan made their entrances for their tag team match as they got cut to commercial. I assume they held off on selling a few tickets via the pre-sale so they can announce the Hall of Fame sold out in 30 seconds. Kane and Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow in a non-title match. Bryan started strong. He was eventually isolated in a corner by the heel trio. Kane checked in for the first time at 4 minutes 30 seconds. He struggled to climb onto the ropes, and he and Sandow had to improvise before quickly getting back on track. Bryan checked back in and did a flip off the top rope. He fell onto the mat and grabbed his knee. The heels immediately went after the knee, and he tied it up in the ropes, showing it was a planned spot. The heels continued to work over Bryan's knee. Kane pulls Sandow off the ring apron to prevent him from kicking the knee. Cody kicked Kane. Bryan rolled up Cody for a 2 count. Cody came right back with a crossroads and scored a pin for his team. The announcer said it was an important win for the Rhodes Scholars that would get them right back into the title hunt. Cody and Damien defeated Kane and Daniel Bryan in a non-title match to earn a title shot. At 7 minutes 10 seconds in the match. The announcers hyped The Rock's return again, recapped the Cena vs. Ziggler match that opened the show, and hyped Punk vs. Ryback for later in the show. I was expecting it to be a TLC match, but we'll see. A shot aired of Randy Orton walking backstage. Excuse me. The announcers hyped that Orton versus Heath Slater was up next. Commercial break. By the way, that's a glass of tea. Iced tea, I should say. It was nice to see Cody and Sandow get a win over Kane and Bryan. Well, this will lead to the latest loss to Kane and Bryan. Once the tag titles are no longer on the line, I'm ready for a title change. Kane and Bryan have been fun, but I'm ready for something new from them. And I think the tag division would be more entertaining with Rhodes Scholars defending against some of the other teams. bring back the Usos. Give them a title shot. Or even form a tag team with Michael McGillicuddy. Or even the newest tag team of Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd. Only the closing seconds of the 3MB post-match routine was shown, whereas Orton got a full entrance. Coleslaw noted that the Royal Rumble is sold out, but he hyped the Royal Rumble Fan Fest. He said there will be a tournament held as part of the Fan Fest, with the winner getting an automatic spot in the Rumble match. Match number 4, Randy Orton versus Heath Slater with Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. Slater got into some offense and hit a neck breaker for a 2 count. Slater went to the ropes and was cut off by Orton, who performed a superplex. Orton fought off McIntyre, and Mahal quickly then performed the hanging DDT on Slater. Orton played to the crowd before striking the Viper pose and draping Slater with the RKO for the win. Dropping Slater with the RKO for the win. After the match, Orton hit RKOs on Mahal and McIntyre to send the crowd to get the crowd more involved in the match. And he beat all 3 of them in 4 minutes 30 seconds. I like the guys who make up 3MB, but the act itself is too ridiculous to take seriously. Did anyone think that there was even a chance that Heath Slater would win even with 2 men in his corner? Just look at Heath Slater's Facebook. He's engaged to Drew McIntyre. So what's that tell you? An ad for WWE main event teased Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler as a main event. A graphic touted that Raw was the #1 show on basic cable. They won't be able to use that graphic next week. Match number 5, Wade Barrett versus Santino Marella with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in his corner in a non-title match. The new Intercontinental Champion did not get a televised entrance. Really, Santino pulled out the Cobra sleeve in 2 minutes into the match. Barrett slid under the ropes and pulled Santino's head over the top rope. Barrett followed up with a bull hammer for the win. After the match, Steamboat entered the ring to check on Santino. Barrett teased hitting Steamboat with a bull hammer, but Steamboat spotted him, stood back up. Steamboat removed his jacket, and Barrett smirked and walked away. And the match only took 2 minutes 20 seconds. 20 seconds after the Cobra comes out. Ooh. Pow! Was this a one-off? My guess is that Steamboat will take Kofi Kingston under his wing. Kofi's pretty talented himself without the dragon behind him. Backstage, Matt Striker interviewed Sheamus about the Royal Rumble. 3M Bieber showed up. Sheamus mocks them. Sheamus said that whoever is left standing after a brogue kick should sing Danny Boy with him. Commercial break. Oh, Danny Boy. That's as far as I go with it. That was bad, Sheamus. He can be so good, but he loses me when he tries to be cute and comical. Leave that for Santino. Or even better yet than Hornswoggle. I'm not alone based on the live crowd's lack of reaction to his comedy in that segment. Match number 6, Antonio Cesaro versus the Great Khali, was already in progress. And it was a non-title match. Cesaro waved an American flag beforehand. Miz handled commentary and played up a feud with Cesaro. Cesaro looked over Khali's knee. Khali made a brief comeback, very short. Cesaro took another shot at his knee, and Cesaro hit Khali with a forearm off the top rope and followed up with a neutralizer for the win. Well, I guess you can stick your arm between the guy's legs and on the shoulders and boop. Well, when you're 7 foot tall, I guess you're still only 4 feet when you're picked up and slammed. Antonio Cesaro took 3 minutes 25 seconds out of our lives for that match. I realize WWE is incapable of delivering 3 straight hot hours, but the first half of this show was a big disappointment. The crowd was silent throughout the match, but they definitely reacted to the forearm and the impressive neutralizer from Cesaro. The main event really sucked to me. Backstage, Paul Heyman was on the phone when Brad Maddox approached him. Heyman said he must not have made it clear to Maddox last week, so he said slowly that he doesn't want Maddox in his life. Maddox said he could best of assistance to Heyman and Punk. Maddox said he brought his referee shirt with him and could talk to Vicky Guerrero about making him a special referee. Heyman told him he didn't want him talking to Vicky Guerrero or CM Punk. Sheamus makes his entrance. Cause said Sheamus would be in action after the break. A new Be a Star video aired featuring celebrities such as David Arquette and Perez Hilton, who even most well-adjusted people would like to beat the shit out of on a playground today, if given a chance. Match number 7, Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal with Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre. Mahal knocked Sheamus down with a shoulder block and then played up to the 3MB act. Sheamus came right back with comedy bits like grabbing Jinder by the nose and acting like Jinder was grabbing his arse. The crowd came to life for Sheamus doing the 10 forearm bit on Mahal again and again on McIntyre. There was also a loud "Let's go Sheamus" chant when Mahal had a brief offensive run. Later, Sheamus brogue kicked McIntyre onto the floor, did the same to Slater when he stood on the ring apron, and then performed white noise on Mahal. Sheamus caught Mahal with a brogue kick for the win. And the match took 5 minutes 45 seconds. Playful Sheamus in the ring is fun, and the fans generally like him. My only complaint about Sheamus these days is that most of his comedy promos are lousy. The announcers hyped the TLC match and showed a huge ladder with 2 chairs under it near the entrance set. A video recapping the CM Punk and Ryback saga. And they showed footage of WWE physician Michael Sampson announcing that he had cleared Punk to wrestle. Heck, after last week, I thought he was going to come and make the announcement in the middle of the ring. It must have been a videotape. The announcers hyped the TLC match for the WWE Championship after the break. The Redskins team doctor should be required to tout announcements on whether RG3 is cleared to play in future games, just to spare the team the controversy. ESPN Monday Night Football broadcaster John Gruden was shown sitting in the crowd. Lawler said he's hopeful that Gruden will be the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Highlights aired of the Cena versus Ziggler match that opened the show. Ring entrances for a TLC match took place. So we still have the TLC match. CM Punk and Paul Heyman came out first. Punk wore ring gear and didn't play up any issues with his surgically repaired knee. Punk pulled the ladder in front of him and walked under it. Punk also whipped a chair down while talking to the ring, or it should be walking to the ring. Lawler noted that Punk was walking without a limp. Punk jumped off the rope just as he normally would do, and Lawler said, which Lawler said showed a lot of the state of Punk's knee. Heyman applauded accordingly as Punk held out his arms and soaked up the crowd's reaction. Feed me more, Ryback made his entrance. Great timing by WWE, whether intentional or not. The match started during halftime of the BCS Championship game. I still don't know the results because I didn't care less. CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Ryback in a TLC match for the WWE Championship. Early in the match, Ryback held up Punk for a suplex with a chair on one side and a ladder on the other. Ryback suplexed him onto the ladder. Punk came back with repeated chair shots to Ryback's back and then jabbed it into his knee. Punk tagged Ryback with more shots to the back and side with a chair heading into a commercial break. I've never been so excited for a tax day to get here. I've sat through Jackson Hewitt's horrible commercials at least 3 times now. Anyway, they are off to a good start with a TLC match. It seemed like the crowd was a little flat during the entrance, but that's probably due to the 90-minute buffer that was the time between Cena versus Ziggler and this match. After the match, Cole said both men made their first attempts to climb the ladder during the break. Ryback was back in control of the match. Punk mounted a brief comeback, but Ryback hip tossed him onto the announcer's table at ringside and then slammed the top plastic piece of the table set onto Punk. Back inside the ring, Punk clipped Ryback's knee. Cole Saw and Lawler stood as a production crew member, cleaned up their table. For a second, it almost looked like that they were so excited by the match that they were actually standing. Silly me. Tricks are for kids. Punk wrapped Ryback's leg inside a chair and tried a double stomp off the top second rope. Punk clutched his knee and announcers played up Punk's surgically knee becoming a factor. Ryback got the crowd to chant "Feed me more" and performed the meat hook clothesline. He signaled for his finisher, but the live crowd didn't buy in. Punk slipped out of Ryback's finisher at ringside. Punk dodged a charging Ryback, who put himself to a table that had been set up. Must have been a botch. Punk made a play for the belt. Ryback recovered and climbed to the other side of the ladder. Ryback punched Punk off the ladder. Punk came back with a running knee. He went for the bulldog. Ryback caught him and dropped him through the table that was set up on the floor. Cool spot. Ryback went to ringside and got a ladder. He climbed the ladder and made a play for the belt. The lights went out. When the lights came back on, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were on the other side of the ladder. Ryback fought them off. Roman Reigns attacked Ryback from behind. Ryback fought him off and made another play for the belt. Coleslaw pointed out that it was all legal. The Shield regrouped and put the boots to Ryback at ringside. The Shield performed their triple power bomb on Ryback that drove him through a table with the ring steps underneath. The Shield left the ringside area as the crowd booed. Meanwhile, Heyman pleaded with Punk to get up. Punk slowly got up and entered the ring. Punk slowly climbed the ladder while holding one arm at his side. Punk smiled as he looked down at Ryback. Once Punk was at the top of the ladder, he smiled as he removed the title belt to win the match. Heyman sat on the ladder, held the title belt with his teeth. He soaked up the crowd cheers while Heyman tearfully applauded from ringside. So CM Punk defeated Ryback in the TLC match to regain the WWE Championship in 18 minutes 55 seconds. Announcers hype The Rock's return as they go to commercial. Wow. Pretty good match. Shield's interference was a little more predictable than I was hoping for, but it was well orchestrated, and Punk did a good job of acting so smug that the crowd seemed to go from being disappointed by the finish to booing Punk instead. Heyman's performance was great. As a manager, as normal, his tearful adoration for Punk was perfect. The match was well planned, and Ryback didn't lose anything. Coleslaw was really fired up for the match and did seem caught up in it after all. A graphic noted that the top 5 WWE Twitter followers are The Rock, John Cena, Randy Orton, CM Punk, and The Miz. Backstage segment, Heyman was gushing over CM Punk when Matt Striker entered the locker room. Punk assumed he was going to ask about Brad Maddox and the Shield. Punk said he doesn't even know Maddox or the Shield. He said before The Rock entertains his millions and millions of fans, it's time for him to drop another pipe bomb. If Punk follows through with a big promo on Rock, then they dropped the ball by not advertising it. Backstage segment, Kane and Daniel Bryan bickered over whose fault it was for losing to Rhodes Scholars. And Miss Picky Guerrero showed up and informed them that they would be getting their 4-month follow-up evaluation from Dr. Shelby. Kane said Shelby is a monster. Bryan said Shelby is a nerd. They went back and forth with monster and nerd. Back to this BS. I'm glad I missed that. They can't be bothered to advertise the following week's Raw main event most weeks, but they can advertise the return of Dr. Shelby. Wow. Coleslaw and Lawler hyped the 20th anniversary of Raw for next week, and then hyped Alberto Del Rio versus Big Show for the Friday SmackDown television show. Kofi Kingston makes his entrance. The announcer said that it would be Kingston versus Big Show after the break. Big Show and Kofi Kingston in a non-title match. Kofi got tied up with a referee early, and Big Show tagged him with a knockout punch for the win. The match only took 25 seconds. Nothing more. Wade Barrett shouldn't feel too bad for all since World Heavyweight Champion Big Show didn't get a televised entrance either. Kingston actually shouldn't lose much considering his loss looked like a fluky and that it was tangled up with a referee when Show hit him. Highlights aired to Raw 1000 when CM Punk turned on The Rock. The Rock's locker room door was shown. Lawler said Rock would be out next with his response to what happened at Raw 1000. Another Raw 20th anniversary ad aired. CM Punk's music played, and he and Heyman walks back out to the ring. While Coleslaw noted that Punk's title reign is up to 414 days, highlights of Punk's win over Ryback were shown as Punk headed to the ring. Punk wiped some blood on his white t-shirt, and Punk removed the WWE box from his microphone. As Heyman held the WWE Championship up, Punk said that the time has come to tell the fans all something very personal. He said the words pipe bomb have been misunderstood. He said a pipe bomb in its truest form is the truth. He said it's what all the fans lack, honesty. He said the perception of him is that he was a little disgruntled, and he sat down in Las Vegas and said pipe bomb. Punk then said the perception is that he got a big hit and turned his back on the people. That's a lie, Punk said. He added that he meant every word. he said that night, except for the part about ice cream, because the last thing the fans need is another bar of ice cream. He said he made a conscious decision and sold out. Punk said he sold out to the fans. He said he created the anti-hero rebel that the fans love to cheer for. He said that the truth about Las Vegas was and WWE is that it doesn't matter if you're the best wrestler or the talker or the most entertaining or you make the two clowns, Cole and Lawler, look like amateur hour. Punk said that there was a glass ceiling in WWE. He said that that's why John Cena admittedly had the worst year of his career, yet he continues to get title shots. He said Daniel Bryan has to smile and belittle himself with catchphrases. He said that's why Brodus Clay shucks and jives. Punk said little Jimmy is positioned better on the flagship show than a workhorse like Tyson Kidd is. Punk said that the fans can't handle anything complicated and they can't stomach anything interesting. We're all here for the circus to entertain you, Punk said, and nobody's been able to attain a modicum of success without you until right now, until I showed up. Punk said he became the longest reigning champion of the modern era. He said that's a buzzword they probably want to put on a t-shirt. He said if he was champion during Bruno Sammartino's day, he would have been champion for 30 years. He said he wrestles demanding matches like a TLC match that his 1 year equals 30 of their years. Punk said that he is successful not because of the fans, but in spite of them. Punk said he's the most honest man in the company. He said everyone else will come out and said they do it for the fans. And let's hear it for Tampa, Florida. Punk said he doesn't care about the people from Tampa, Florida. There's good guys and there's bad guys in this world, and make no mistake about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a bad, bad man, and I can freely admit it. Punk then said Flair came out and cry his 182-year-old eyes out. He said Shawn could lose his smile and say that his whole career was about acceptance. He said Edge was forced to retire and says he misses performing for the people. Punk said that they are weak or dishonest. I am neither weak or dishonest, Punk said. I am the best in the world. Punk said that there are winners and losers. Guess which one you are, Punk said. You're born to pay to see a champion like me. Punk said he's never done this before. Never done this for the fans. He said there are superstars and there are nobodies. He said he's a superstar and the people are nobodies. He said if the superstars are the friends with the fans, why don't they come out and give the millions and millions of dollars they earn? A production man stood on the ring apron. Punk said he was being told they want to go to break. Punk said they will go to break when the champion wants to go to break. Punk continued to talk and told the fans they don't matter. Coleslaw interjected and teased The Rock as Punk continued as they go to commercial. Clean up on whatever aisle the online wrestling fans are watching in. Punk tears the fans a new one and continues to be the most hateable character in wrestling at this point. Punk promised that he would still be the WWE champion on the first Raw of January 2014. He said he won't let The Rock tear down everything he fought so hard to attain. Punk said he didn't just beat Alberto Del Rio to win the title at Madison Square Garden. He beat the system. He said whenever he's beaten a WWE superstar, he's beaten the fans. And I have beaten you. I have stomped you out under my oppressive boot, as Punk said. Punk then said again he will do the same thing to Rock. You do not get to win, Punk said to the fans. You are losers. You do not get to win. What does he think? This is a Monopoly game? You go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not collect $200. The Rock's music played, and he walked onto the stage and played to each side of the building. Coleslaw said he has goosebumps, and it's electric on Raw. As it goes past the 3 hours, Rock said he had to wait and hear it all to find out what kind of man he's dealing with at the Royal Rumble. You're straight up delusional, Rock said. He noted that Punk's title reign is incredible, but the number that's really making the hair on his straight edge scrotum stand up is 20. Because Punk knows that in 20 days, time's up. A Rocky chant starts from the crowd. Rock said Punk wanted change and a revolution. He said Punk said he rejected the people, but the people rejected Punk. He said he promised ice cream bars to everyone. He couldn't even do that. Punk glared intently at the Rock, who told him to listen to the voices. He said Punk claims to be the voice of the voiceless, but that's garbage because there's no such thing as voiceless in the WWE universe. Rock said that the fans use their voices every single night. He said that they know something special is about to happen right now. He said the fans were going to chant the loudest chant that would follow Punk for the rest of his life. He said that they wouldn't chant respect or best in the world. They would chant Cookie Puss. The fans obliged. I wonder if Cookie Puss was training worldwide at that time. Punk motioned for them to keep it coming. Be the puppets that you are, as Punk said. He's got you chanting about ice cream the same way I did a year and a half ago. Congratulations. You still don't get to win. You don't get to win. Rock said the fans won the moment The Rock woke up at 4 a.m. Rock delivered the finally line. Rock said after 10 years, he is back to win the WWE Championship. He said he has watched the show and saw Punk's lying and deceit. He said he wanted someone to show Rock respect just to shut him up. He said that the man who claims to be straight edge looks like Popeye on crack. He said Punk just needs a little thing in his mouth to go toot toot. Rock said Punk has one of the most creative and innovative minds in WWE history, but he fails to use it. He said Punk became WWE champion and then became one of the biggest jerks the world has ever seen. Rock told Punk not to ever say the people don't matter when he's there. You're the one who doesn't matter, Rock said. Punk replies back and said he matters, and then Rock cut him off. It doesn't matter if you matter, Rock said. Funny, Rock said Punk won't stop him from becoming WWE champion. Punk put the WWE championship down in between him and Rock. Punk said that unlike a lot of people in WWE, he's happy Rock is back. He said he doesn't care whether he's back 16 days a year or 365 days a year. Punk said that whenever Rock graces them with his presence, he's going to kick his ass. Punk said that The Rock can do a tired lame ass shtick. He's going to kick his ass at the Royal Rumble because he's the best in the world. Punk said Rock just graduated from the kiddie table, but he bit off more than he can chew. Punk said Rock is playing Little League with his rhymes, but Punk is in the big leagues and he's swinging for the fences. Punk said Rock needs to understand that when he steps foot in the ring at the Royal Rumble, your arms are just too short to box with God. Rock said Punk may think that Rock is boxing with God, but Rock knows for a fact that Punk is going one-on-one with a great one. Rock said Punk shouldn't think for a second how low Punk is, or how tough Punk is. He said Punk hurt him when he attacked him, but in 20 days, time's up. Rock told Punk to go home and look in the mirror and strip naked. He told him not to concentrate on his cookie puss. He told him to concentrate on his backside and to find a space that's not covered in tattoos. He told him he wants him to get more tattoos of his candy bars, but not almond joys because they actually have nuts. Rock said he wants Punk to get a tattoo of his size 15 shoe so that he can have a constant reminder of how he is going to kick his candy ass at the Royal Rumble. Rock grabbed Punk and dropped him with a Rock bottom. Punk rolled to ringside to sell the move. Punk recovered and put the title around his waist. While holding his neck to sell the move, Punk stood up and smiled at The Rock, who motioned for 20 days with his fingers and then made the belt motion. Video hyped The Rock's return to Miami for Friday Night SmackDown. It had noted that it will be The Rock's return to SmackDown for the first time in 10 years. And that ends my report for SmackDown, for Raw and Superstars. Thanks and peace out.